Thanks to the support as a channel member, Ollie Gunnar Kvam. Well, here we go then, boys and girls. Champions League semi-final, and now it gets really hard because there were only two teams that finished above us in the league phase of this competition. We play one of them now. The other one is playing Man City, who keep beating us domestically in the other semi-final. If we win the Champions League from here, it'll be one of my greatest Football Manager victories ever. It'll also mean I need to come up with an idea for what to do after the Champions League win. Hear me out on a potential idea while we get started in the game. First, I should probably show you what we've been up to in the league. Losing to Fulham, not ideal. We did respond by smashing Southampton, but it does mean with 4 games to go, we're now 3 points behind Manchester United in the league. We do have a better goal difference. I'd like to think this is just the game setting that last matchup to mean something. We were utterly powerless in that game. It was very frustrating. But that's not what we're worrying about now. What we're worrying about now is Juventus, and this is the team. Because they finished above us, they're away first, which is annoying, because I talked so much in the last episode about the advantage of doing well in the league stage and being able to control the ties. We can't do it from here on in, so we've just got to win it by being the better team. It's Restes in goal, a back four of Gosselin, Castro, Roivers and Angeli, Nielsen and Landu in midfield, McRobbie on the left, McAdams on the right, Harley and Alazzi up front. It is, for the first time in ever, maybe, at Blackburn, the last 6 months or so, we have had a settled first 11, certainly since Gosselin arrived. Missing piece of the puzzle. I stopped faffing around, rotating at left back. When they're fit, this is the 11. And is this 11 good enough to win the Champions League? We're going to find out today, aren't we? But while we're doing that, potential idea for what we can do afterwards. We've got 2 things. Normally, when we win the Champions League, we start a new save. If people would rather I started a new save, we can start a new save. I've got a few ideas, but one thing I am considering doing this year, because we play Football Manager, because we play non-league to legend on realism mode, the one part of realism, Harley, Landu, no, the one part of realism that's always let the series down is that we retire the moment we win the Champions League, and we do that because obviously, logically, you would stay at the club you've won the Champions League with, and we'd probably just keep winning it and it becomes boring. So we have to kind of suspend reality, retire and move on. But one thing I thought we could potentially do is revisit a concept we did way back in the garage, probably getting on for 10 years ago now. At the time, we called it the Expedition of Gold. I don't know if we'd call it that this time. The whole concept seems to have resurfaced on YouTube in recent years as Glory Hunter. I'm not saying Ben stole the concept from me, but that'll get back to him. And I'm sure he'll confirm he stole the concept from me. It'll be fine. But we basically play out the rest of a normal career. So until we're in our early to mid 60s, presumably, trying to win the National League in all of the other big nations as well. Basically do a Carlo Ancelotti second half of our career. We win the Champions League with Blackburn. We've won the Premier League. We tick that off. And then we want 4 more major titles. We want to go and win the titles in Italy, France, Germany and Spain, still within this save. And obviously the advantage of doing that is all these wonder kids that we've got here at Blackburn, we get to continue watching their career play out. Some of them will probably come with me to the next phase of my adventure. The disadvantage of it is, some people would argue it kind of becomes inevitable when your reputation is that high. I'm going to get jobs at big clubs and then it's just, okay, it might take a year or 2, but we know we're going to win the league and the Champions League in each of those countries and then move on. Probably bringing a lot of the same players with me, but some of the greatest channel legends, I'm talking like Iribarren, Vermonti, the guys from years ago, we remember them because we had them at multiple clubs during that kind of post-game Expedition of Gold. And it's one of the most well-remembered, I guess, series that I did, even though it was kind of officially 2 series. And the other big disadvantage is because we'd be continuing in this save, we don't get to see all of the current modern players again. We don't get that new series bump that you typically get in a Football Manager save again. So it's got its pluses and minuses. The reason I'm thinking of doing it this year, because views are down across the board anyway. I don't think I'm going to get another 100,000 view episode 1 on a new series. So there's less incentive to get that new series hype. And if we're ever going to do something like that again, Ryan Mason manages Juventus. If we're ever going to do something like that again, this is probably the year. But I need to know you want it. What we want is to win this tie. Ryan Mason is Juventus. Excuse me, sir. One moment, please. Can we click on that in the middle of the match? Apparently we can't. We've been the better team, but we're not winning. And we saw in the last round, Roma doing something very similar. They probably came out of the first leg at home thinking, well, the better team have come here, but we've held them. We just need to nick a goal at their place in the away leg, and then we tore them apart back at our place. So if we go into the second leg away from home, not even ahead in the tie, that's not ideal. In an ideal world, I'd be looking at being like 2-0 up from the first leg. You want a couple of goal advantage, and then you feel a little bit more comfortable. Anything less than that, and it does start to become alarming. We don't look like getting it so far, and we should have scored at least one, getting on for 2 goals. And once again, it might be the attack letting us down. I think our defence is very, very good now, but the attack probably is the area that we need to strengthen. So all that speech about what we do next might be for nothing, because we might be doing 2 or 3 more years with Blackburn yet, which is what I originally anticipated we'd need to do. Normally, once you get into the Champions League for the first time, it does take a few years to figure out how to win it, because you've got to work out who the best teams are and how to beat them. And it is a whole other level compared to what you're used to playing in the Premier League. McRobbie into Harley. Harley taking it wide. McRobbie gives it back to Harley again. McRobbie, McAdams, and there is a goal. Oh, so excited. I almost coughed and spluttered it out, but that could end up being hugely important if it's given. The referee is fingering himself. He has awarded it. What a time to be alive. We have that 1 goal advantage. I mean, this would be, as far as TV viewing is concerned, very finely poised if we end the match 1-0 up and go back to their place with a slender lead. Anything can happen from there. We don't want a slender lead. We want another goal. And we're going to bring on Fur. Fur coming on with 20 minutes to go, by the way. It must be terrifying for the opposition. We're also going to bring on Kelly for Alazzi, and we are going to... We don't have Nzita. He's not in our Champions League squad. We had to take him out to put Gosselin in. And I'd really like to bring Nzita on now. We'll bring on Hincapié. Hincapié has now announced that he's going to be retiring at the end of the season. So he was in a situation where we were letting him run down his contract, and it looked like he was going to go on and continue his career. But he is retiring. So it would be nice for him to retire with a Champions League winners medal after he's been such a big part of what's gone on at Blackburn over the last few years. Hincapié plays it forward to Harley, who's come out very wide onto the left, where he's interchanging with Fur and now heading back infield. Lays it off to Landu. Landu back to Hincapié, and now Fur crosses over, looking for Kelly, and Kelly scores. That's what we signed him to do. Be a big 6'3" unit who can score the headers that no one else in our team ever scores. And that is hugely important. 2-0. If it stays like this, we feel quite happy going into the second leg, knowing that we've done as much as we can. I mean, obviously a third would be even better, but we're not going to get greedy. Lando's going to come on for Angeli. McRobbie needs to come off as well, so we'll bring on Bensivenga for him. Harley can go out wide on the right-hand side, and Bensivenga can go up front. Bensivenga really starting to look the part in some of the Premier League games that he's been playing. So maybe he'll be the answer to our attacking shortcomings. Although, to be fair, what attacking shortcomings? We're 2-0 up against Juventus, one of the best teams in Europe. Landu to Castro, who plays it out to Fur. The fact that Fur can't even get in the team from the start shows just how good we are in some of these attacking areas. This is wonderful from Fur. Oh, that deserved a goal. That was a fantastic run. And we've won the corner, but unfortunately, we don't get to actually see it take place. And we are underscoring our XG, even with a 2-0 win. Or is it going to be 3? Bensivenga plays it to Kelly. Kelly to Fur. Bensivenga again. Fur. Somebody just have a shot. Hincapié to Landu. Fur's got it back. Somebody have a shot. We've got like a minute and a half. Someone do a goal. Fur crosses in. Kelly's there again with a header. But this time he can't keep it down. It was a little bit high. A little bit above him. But I mean, we'd take 2-0 at the start of the match. The balance of play, we probably should have done more, but we take 2-0 and hopefully don't balls it up in the second leg at another Italian stadium that I've been to in a match day vlog. Juventus. They don't send me as many emails as Roma do, though. We mentioned the Roma emails last week. There's Ryan Mason's career. Tottenham manager. That was the real life Tottenham stint. Did he manage West Brom in real life? Was then at Everton for 8 years before going to Juventus. That's a weird jump. He's only 46. For context, in game, I am 55. Am I that much older than Ryan Mason? That doesn't feel right. Well, it took our reserves a little bit more effort than it needed to win in the league. Hold on. I don't know how to get back from that screen to actually show you league results, but there you go. If we can get onto the fixtures, you can see it was a 92nd, 93rd minute winner from McRobbie it wasn't even the full reserves. It was just rotated in a few key areas. The front two in particular were rotated and were rubbish, both of them. But we've gone back to full strength for the game against Juventus, and we just need to do what we did in the first leg all over again. I did notice Man City were 5-2 up over Barcelona from the first leg. I'm not sure who's played first. I don't know what day of the week it is. That feels like something that the game should be presenting to me, but I don't know if we already know who we're playing for or trying to play in the final, or if we're going first. It's not at all clear. If we can grab a goal here, by the way, if we can score first, we've got this wrapped up. Angeli to Castro, and now Roivers to McAdams. And now Angeli into McAdams again. Cross comes over, looking for Harley. Gosselin back to McRobbie and Harley! And we have scored first, and it's Rob Harley! It's 1-0 on the night, 3-0 on aggregate. It took us 3 minutes to get the breakthrough. And that should be job done. Champions League final. Here we come. And the Champions League final is, nothing is easy, whichever way around that is. Man City, it depends if Erling Haaland turns up or not. We've beaten them when he was rubbish. There's plenty of other times when he's beaten us on his own, though. It's probably going to be his last final as well if they get there. And the alternative is Barcelona, who are always quite good when it comes to Champions League finals. Probably better than Blackburn historically. But Roivers plays it forward to McAdams. We still have work to do to make sure we get there. Although a fourth now, it's Harley again. It's 2-0 on the night, 4-0 on aggregate. There's only 7 minutes gone. We have turned up in Turin and decided we quite fancy a Champions League final. And Rob Harley is finally putting to bed all this Rob Harley's not a striker nonsense. Because I tell you what, both of those goals were strikers' goals. He is Mr. Big Game player, clearly. He is, our captain, leading from the front when it matters the most. The amount of sitters we've seen him miss over the last 5 or 6 seasons, it's very satisfying to see him turn up in a big match like this. McRobbie plays it out to McAdams. McAdams! I thought he was going to get a 12-minute hat-trick. That would have been absurd if he'd have managed to pull that off. But obviously, even the Premier League title win last year, there's all the question marks over, well, yeah, but for the run-in, Harley was playing on the wing. For the Conference League final, Harley was playing on the wing. This is his run-in where he gets to play in what he's been telling me since he was 16 years old is his best position. And I've believed him because I could see how talented he was. And it was all leading up to this moment. Can you imagine the noise coming out of the Blackburn end? 4-0 up on aggregate with so much of the game still to go. There's going to be hospitalisations. They're just going to run out of lung capacity, surely. Right, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. McAdams, who has been fantastic on this Champions League run, unfortunately does give the ball away there, which kind of takes the edge off the praise I was trying to deliver to him. But it is Juventus trying to demonstrate that the tie's not over, but fortunately for us, they're shooting wide. Everything is opening up for us. If we were to win the Champions League this season, that means we'll have won a European trophy every season we played in Europe. in this save. Obviously, we missed the Europa League out completely, but we won the Conference League last year at the first time of asking. And we're fingertips from the Champions League final at the first time of asking. Elazzi over the top for Harley for the hat-trick. Rob Harley has a half-hour hat-trick in the Champions League semi-final. Wonderful stuff from Rob Harley today. It's a great ball over the top from Elazzi. But Harley times his run to perfection. And you never felt like he was going to miss. The amount of misses we've seen him do over the years, he's just up for it tonight. He's got a point to prove. Is it a World Cup year? How do you not get him in the England squad? Are you telling me there's like 4 strikers better than him? He's got a hat-trick in the Champions League semi-final. Get him in an England squad. He got in that one England squad. I think it was in the league. I think it's the Euros this summer, because I think it was 2 years ago. He got in the World Cup preliminary squad, but didn't actually go to the tournament and never played a game. And that's the only England call-up he's ever had. But surely off the back of this, how is he not in the conversation for the Euros? He has to be. I am going to keep pushing until that boy is an England player. If I have to keep this save going long enough for international management to be added in so I can give him an England cap myself, that boy will play for England. Rob Harley to Landu, and now Roivers. Everything calms down. We all calm down. We probably need to be resting some players. I mean, we're 5-0 up on aggregate. We're in the final. We need to probably take Nielsen off again and rest some players, because we've got work to do in the Premier League still. Man United are relentless and we've still got to play them. So Nielsen can come off for Fimbres, and Jelly can come off for Londo, and Gosselin can come off for Hincapié with half an hour to go. I think that's arguably our 3 best players. And then I think we probably change 2 of the front 4 with 20 minutes to go. And just hope that Roivers and Castro can see things out. Right. So McAdams can come off for Fur's injured, actually, so he can't come on. But Kelly can come on and Harley can go out wide. Landu is tired. We don't have anyone else who can play central midfield. You know who probably can? Rob Harley's going to drop back and play central midfield. So after the masterclass up front, we now get a 20-minute disaster class in defensive midfield, and we throw it all away because I get too excited about Rob Harley, which has happened a lot in this save, to be fair. Right, Roivers to McAdams, and now Elazzi. Elazzi going on his own. I mean, he loves a European football match, but his shot is pushed wide and we don't get to see the corner. We should probably drop some praise on the boys. This has been one of the best performances we've had in the entire series. These gentlemen have been absolutely fantastic today. And they're just seeing the game out, getting the job done. Lovely stuff. Hincapié heads clear. They've hit the crossbar now. They're not getting any luck, are they? Ben Sivenga letting him go past him very easily, but then lumps it clear. I mean, Juventus, to be fair, they're still trying. Hincapié is just very good. And there's Rob Harley, deep-lying playmaker Rob Harley. I mean, he might end up... In all seriousness, we've got a big hole in the squad in that position. He's probably got all the attributes to do it. Do we send him on a training camp this summer and have him come back as the new Pirlo? It's tempting. No. Maybe? I mean, he's not looked out of place doing it against real top-level opposition here. McRobbie now on the right-hand side. Fimbres. I mean, we've got a striker and a centre-back as midfield today. Ball over the top for Elazzi. Oh, that should have been a goal. Hopefully that's the goal that stops anyone playing. That's the miss that stops anyone paying his release clause in the summer, because we don't want to lose him. Ben Sivenga is clearly not a winger, by the way. So he is struggling out wide, as he always does. He looks better playing centre forward. I don't know that he's a long-term member of this squad, though. At 21 years old, we've got a lot of players his age or younger. I mean, he's given the ball away there. We've got a lot of players his age or younger who are a lot more first team ready than he is. So I think he's probably someone, if we get an offer this summer where we can turn a bit of a profit on him. I mean, this is just poor. Don't even know what he's trying to do there, but whatever it was, it didn't work. I don't think there's any danger of us letting Juventus back into the game. That's why we're playing such a makeshift team. But we're certainly learning things about certain players. We're learning Harley doesn't look out of place at all in defensive midfield. Bensavenga, not so much on the left wing. Oh my word, it's chaos in there. Juventus have a second. I mean, I'm still not worried yet. If they do it again, Fimbres is going to centre half and we're shutting up shop. Kelly will be alongside him now. There you go. 3-2 on the night, 5-2 on aggregate. That'll do nicely. Do we know who we're going to be playing in the final? Yeah, because it's Wednesday, so we should know. Oh, Barcelona. Blackburn versus Barcelona. A Barcelona who still have Lamine Yamal. I am so glad we signed a left back. Still only 30. I mean, he's not actually. I won't say anything negative about him for fear of him ripping us apart, but that is, I mean, that and the Man United game, double header tomorrow. Both must-win games for a couple of trophies. Exciting times. But if you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.